Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first social distancing version of Battle of Wits. We are coming to you from Montreal with some amazing contestants tonight. We have drinking her wine, Abby Stonehouse.
Hello.
We have Inez Anaya.
Hello.
We have Johnson Goddard.
Hello.
And we have Troy Stark.
Woo!
Yay! Oh my gosh,
Hello.
I don't know about your apartments, but the crowd in my apartment is going absolutely nuts for all of you.
Yeah, quiet it down over there. Come
Yeah,
on.
calm down, everyone. Like, oh my goodness, it's a riot over here. So, Battle of Wits is a comedy game show, panel show, just a bunch of fun. And as always, we are going to kick it off with the warm-up round. So, in this round, I will ask general knowledge questions. Just shout out your answers, and the best answer will win. So, wait until I finish the question, please.
I'm very cool.
How did you know I was ready?
All right, so question number one. What is the technical name for the hashtag symbol? So what's it actually called?
Stop. Hashtag is I pound.
Close. It has an actual technical name. Troy?
It's the cartoon Zoom.
It's a good answer.
I don't know who.
Yeah, it's like, are you directing us to answer, or are we just jumping in? Because
I
at
just
first
realized you can't see. You can't see. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Just shout out your answers.
It doesn't have the
Yeah,
same.
you can't see. I just realized that. Okay.
we're all learning.
I
This
haven't
is an
left-
educational program,
Exactly.
folks.
I haven't left my house in 4 days. I don't know what anything is anymore.
You're saving the world. Remember that.
It's true. It's true. What a world. Okay, Abby or Inez, do you have an answer?
Yeah, I believe the scientific term is tic-tac-toe board.
Ooh, very good. Very good.
I like that one. I was gonna go with pound key because I'm not smart. So I'm gonna make up.
Yeah, sorry.
We're gonna make up a word. It is sixtator.
Kilogram.
Yours is actually kind of close. Well, just because it has a number. So the actual term is octosrope.
Oh, I
gee.
knew that.
Yeah.
I've heard that word before.
So octo refers to the points on the symbol. So there are 8 points. And no one knows where thrope comes from. It's just there.
Tells us a lot about what you've been doing in your spare time.
So, not Troy, John and Abby, I'm going to give you the points on that one. Because,
Oh, so are we teams? We're teams?
no, but they both had like a similar answer. I need to stop pointing. You can't see who I'm pointing at. You both said pound sign, and that's also another name for it. So the first 2 points, it's a tie. Maybe you both get half points. It doesn't really matter, to be
Yeah,
honest.
you got.
I'll
you
just
get, you
choose
get
a winner.
amount of points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How long was the longest wedding veil ever?
91 meters.
Abby. Oh, 91 meters for Troy. All right, just shout out your answers. I love the hand-raising energy, Abby, but
Of the church and into the grave.
40.
Abby said 40 feet. Okay.
Standard mile end block, which is, I don't know, that's a distance, I believe.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. John, did you have an answer?
I said that the longest veil was right out of the church and into the graveyard.
Ooh, that is
Spicy.
dark. That is dark. I like it. So
Ouch.
it's actually 23,000 feet.
That's my 91 meters by my.
No, how is that?
Yeah, or the
Like,
length
how many
of,
times did they wrap it around the world?
Yeah, the length of 63.5 football fields, which is the most obnoxious form of measurement.
Does that like break the bride's neck? Just like
I mean, it was probably really light. I don't
Yeah.
understand the logistics. This is just a fact that I did find on Good Housekeeping. So
Did you walk the whole way to get it stretched out, or did people like lay it out for her?
I'm sure there was like a big group of people laying it out, and like, I
How
mean,
many-
it takes a village, really.
You have to imagine it on like Drag Race. I can't imagine it, like it wouldn't work.
Mm.
no. Someone would like drive over it. It would
It's
get
very long.
trees. It would just be chaotic.
Yeah, I wish I could picture how long a football field is, so I could, but like it's long, like
Like
63 of
1/3
those.
of the longest veils ever.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We've got a couple more questions left in this beautiful round. What do the M's in M&M, like the candy, what do the M's in M&M stand for?
Mars and Mercury.
Ooh, close.
Is
Malcolm and Matt.
Malcolm and Matt. Abby?
Marshall and Marvin?
No?
It's actually, the correct answer is Munch and Munch.
No one is correct. So it's Mars and Murray, and it was based on the last names of the creators of
Yeah, the
M&Ms.
Mars bar guy and the
Yeah.
Murray guy.
Murray was a
And when they got
an heir
married,
to- yeah.
merged their companies into this delicious candy.
I love
Mhm.
Ever wonder why they're rainbow colored?
Exactly. That's exactly it.
It was Murray, and I said Mercury.
Yeah. Oh, are you trying to get that point? I mean,
No,
you don't.
I think half point, obviously. But I'm not.
Yeah, yeah. He
Okay.
did get half.
You know
the
what?
answer.
Troy's on the board
Just
with
one
half
letter
a
off.
point.
Okay.
Okay. We've got 2 more questions in this round. What is a baby puffin called other than a chick? So they're called chicks, but then there's a puffin specific term for a baby puffin. Abby, you keep raising your hand, just shout.
Please let it be Puffy. Okay.
Close, but no cigar.
I was just gonna say puff because that's just too cute. A little puff.
Yeah.
Puff, puff.
Troy or John, do you have any guesses?
It's
Yeah,
just
they're
like it's almost like a puff, but it's just a.
They're muffins. Muffins.
Muffins? Oh, I like that. All of these answers are very cute.
Yeah.
But wrong.
But wrong. It's actually a puffling.
Puffling?
Puffling. Yeah, isn't that cute?
It's
Little
less
puffling.
sweet than a puffin.
Now I'm gonna go look at it. I honestly like playing this
Some sort of, like,
while
rare-
online because I just keep googling everything after you tell us just to look at it, and it's great.
Okay, I'm gonna give Troy the point because I liked. Okay, and finally, what was the first soft drink to go to space? Abby with the raised
I have
hand.
to stop, but I can't.
You do.
come on.
Coca-Cola.
Yes, correct. Our first right answer of the game.
Wait, I feel like that was too obvious.
Okay, so we are now going to start our second round. It is called What Does It Mean? In this round, I will tell you a word, and we will go round table, starting with Abby, ending with Troy, to tell me what you think the word means. So the first word. Can we all see it?
Yes.
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 It's
John anymore.
my
Okay.
turn. I'm
So the
first.
first word, yes,
I tried
is
hard not to raise my hand right there.
the first word is peristonic. Or wait, Peristoronic. Peristoronic. I can't read. It's very difficult for me to run a trivia game. Okay, Abby.
This word means you're persistent in being ironic.
I like that.
Ironic.
Very good. Very good. Okay, Troy, you are next.
Am I now?
Yes.
Well, okay. This word, it obviously comes from the Latin, What it means in today's language is this. Like, you know when scientists suck?
Oh God, please don't be anti-scientist in this day and age on me.
I believe that whether the earth is flat or not, you gotta, when a scientist says, anyway, no, the truth is, this word is like, in the scientific community, is like a really, really negative thing to call someone. It's like, says, it means like, they don't know shit. Like, yeah, he has a degree, but he's probably a flat earther. And so, like, I wouldn't like to get called that.
Okay. Good answer. Inez?
I think it means, it refers to everything, the area surrounding the sternum. That's my...
I like that. Okay. And John?
Thank you. Peristeronic is actually, it's an adjective that describes an emotional reaction to looking, it's common among sailors. When they wind up in submarines and they have to look in the periscope, they begin to freak out. It is known as becoming peristeronic.
Those are all very good answers. I liked John's energy because I had to double check my notes when he answered. So John, you get the point for that one.
Confidence of a teacher.
Yes, exactly. What it actually means.
He's used to sounding like he knows what he's talking about, even when it's bullshit. Come on.
Yeah, the tone of like, and don't even ask me a follow-up question on this.
Yeah. I mean, he sold it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what does it actually mean?
It actually means of or relating to pigeons.
Ugh.
Wow.
Of or relating to pigeons. All right. Our next word. Acnestis. So, acnestis. So, Abby, what does this mean?
Acanestis is when you have a form of acne that is on your forearm. That's
Okay. Okay. Forearm acne. Nice.
I love that you waited for more detail. Like, no, there's more to this, though. Make it more specific, Abby.
Short and sweet. Believable. All right. Troy?
Abby's close, but obviously it's a form of acne that's so severe. Like, it's like the kind of acne that would have turned the hunchback into the hunchback. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Okay.
like, just like limit, and like if you move your skin too much. I don't want to talk about it. It's disgusting. That's definitely what it is.
Okay. All right, Inez.
So it's actually pronounced ACENESTIS. And it's used to describe the condition someone who just cannot stop scoring basketballs comes down with.
Nice.
It's just like 100 point, 10 for 10 type of situation.
Okay.
It's medical. It's really tragic, actually.
I don't think that you could get 100 points in 10 basketball shots.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It's a horrible disease, Troy. It really messes with your sense of realities.
All right, John.
Well, I will agree with Ines that the pronunciation is ACENESTIS, and it is ACENESTIS, and it's the Greek word to describe the state. It's from the poker world, actually, and it's describing the state of having an ace in your hand, but being unable to release it from the nest and play the card.
Oh.
Card stays within your nest.
That's very good.
I love the world where like philosophers in like ancient Greece are sitting around playing poker.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, that one's a toss-up. I'm gonna give half points to Inez and John because I liked both of those answers, and
and how correct and accurate they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So correct. It actually is the part of your back between your shoulder blades that you can't reach.
Oh, wow.
So, like, that part of your back that you're just like, oh, would it be weird if I asked my neighbor to come rub lotion on this, like that part of your bag.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It did get me evicted once. It's fine.
What you're saying is I was on the right track with the hunchback thing.
Oh, you were, but Inez and John made me laugh more, so sorry. Be better, Troy. No, you were actually. Okay. We've got 2 more words left. Yes. So, what does it mean? This word is BOBSY-DIE. BOBSY-DIE.
Who's up first?
So let's start from the bottom now. Let's start with John.
Okay, BOBSY-DIE. BOBSY-DIE is a 50s term to describe, it was a style of hair that teenage girls wore, a type of bobby, and it was the color that they dyed their bobby hair that was in a bun. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. I mean, maybe points for politeness. I don't know. I like the sort of spelling bee vibe of that one. Okay. And moving on to Inez.
Okay, so John was very close, but he got a little confused. He was thinking about die spelled with a Y, and this in fact was a derivation off of that, and it was a trend of girls getting that haircut and then dying. So
Bleak. Okay.
Yeah, just for the play on words, they had to do it. Yeah,
they had to. The haircut was poison. All right, Troy.
So in the UK, you guys probably don't know this, but in the UK, bobsies are that's like a kind of a word for like a children's clown. And during the I think it was 2005 or 7, like one of those summers, there was like just a slaughtering of all these clowns. You remember when the photos were popping up and stuff? Anyway, if you left a dead clown on a street corner in London, that was like a BOBSY-DIE.
Very good. Okay.
That place is crazy, man.
It's mad, governor. That's my British accent.
Okay, the show's over.
That sounded like Clockwork Orange to me, so I think you know.
Yeah. Abby, what is BOBSY-DIE?
So there's an expression called Bobsy twins. It's when 2 people they look alike. And so BOBSY-DIE is when one of the twins dies. So
so much death in this. Oh, right, that's the word die.
Yeah.
So that's my answer. Yeah.
I like that. Okay, I'm gonna give Troy that one.
Clowns?
Yeah. The clowns. I liked it. I was in that world. I could see it.
Fair enough. Can I just
You
ask,
took her there.
Aren't the Bobbsey twins actual like twins? Like that was like a family.
Yeah.
That was a family name of twins that like went missing.
The BOBSY twins. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was a family name. I guess it was BOBSY twins.
Right? Like it's not. Anyway, I don't care, but
one of them died, so let's just leave them be.
Yeah. So it actually means, so BOBSY-DIE is actually New Zealand slang, allegedly. And it means a great deal of fuss or trouble. So I think a lot of dead clowns around the city of London would be a great deal of fuss or trouble. So that point goes to Mr. Troy Stark. Okay, and our last one is GROKE, starting with John.
GROKE is the term used to describe the death of a GROKE.
On a death kick. This is so uplifting.
It is. It's the last sound a camel makes when it dies. It's called croaking, to groke, the death of a camel.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, nice. Inez.
So it's like a croak, but phlegmier,
Oh yeah.
Like a wetter croak from the throat of an inflamed person. Yeah.
Disgusting, but very good. Troy?
So this word is actually a portmanteau of combining 2 words. Once again, I think it's British, but that might just be where my head's at. But it's combining the words great and bloke, just like it's like a really good guy. Like a groke is just like a really very good person.
Okay.
And it's male,
Okay.
and it's kind of a bro.
All right. I like it. I like it. I do love a portmanteau. Abby?
Okay, Troy is wrong, but it is the combined version of two words. It's when a Greek person croaks. So when a Greek person dies, a groke.
I do like that as well. I'm gonna give this one to Inez because it severely grossed me out, and I was like, that it actually seemed
That's what I bring to
correct.
the table. You know?
Yeah. No, it seemed right, and I liked that. So it is actually a old Scottish term, allegedly. No Scottish people, please don't get mad at me. So it's allegedly an old Scots term that means to look at someone while they're eating and hope they'll give you some food. Or if you're a comedian and you're smoking outside of an open mic and then a bunch of other comedians come up to you, like, just like, so I quit smoking
Just
yesterday.
socialize, yeah.
Yeah. They're groking. I've never done that.
Honestly, I'm gonna adopt that into my vocabulary because I do the food thing a lot, and I definitely experience the smoke. No, actually, I do the smoking thing too.
I do all of them.
You know what? I'm on both sides of that one coin.
Just give me whatever you have. That's my vibe.
What's all you got there?
Exactly. Now we are going to do a new round called Two Truths, One Lie. So in this round, everyone has prepared two truths and one lie, and they will tell them to us, and we will try to guess what is true and what is a lie. So, we will have who is winning. The person who is winning will go first. Oh, we're tied between John and Troy. So Troy, since you've done this game before, you go first. And
Okay.
then John, then Ines, and then Abby.
So I'm going to tell you 3 facts about myself. Every single one of them is true, but you have to figure out which one is a lie. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Truth number 1, I once pulled my own tooth out using just a pair of pliers. Couldn't get to
Believable. Yeah.
Yeah, that's you have that energy.
I see it. I can see it in my mind's eye. Actually, yeah. Was it just before this started?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Truth number 2, 9/11 was particularly rough for me because I was supposed to get my driver's license that day and then everything got canceled.
Okay.
So, like, obviously more of a tragedy to me than anyone else. And, I'm still trying to get my driver's license now, so it really kind of shaped my life.
Mm-hmm.
And third truth is I have no middle name.
Okay, question.
Shoot.
What tooth did you pull out?
Very good question, Abby.
That one.
Okay.
Mm.
Why did
He
you
can't name it by its actual name. Suspicious. Yeah.
You're not a
Baller was
dentist.
that, Troy?
It was called Al. And now
But it's too painful to name him. I understand. Yeah.
upper gone.
I hope that's true because if I get a toothache, I don't want to have to see a real dentist.
Mm.
I got weed and pliers, so whatever.
Yeah. Just call Troy out.
Oh,
You know?
you're such a charmer. More ways I have weed.
That's how he got Shirley. It was just like, hey, got weed and pliers. Rest is history.
Another question. How old are you if you were going to get a license
Good question, Abby.
on 9/11? Pardon?
I didn't hear the question. What was it?
How old are you if you were going to get your license at in 2011?
33, turning 34. I was 15 and a half in 2001.
Okay, that checks.
Oh, 2001
I don't think
is
Troy's
longer
actually
ago
that
than
old, though. I don't think that's
I am.
his real age.
I was born in 86.
Okay.
So I had my.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you do look very youthful, Troy. just
Yeah.
so you know.
Yeah, I look great, but like,
Yeah.
Other than the tooth.
And what was the last truth?
No middle name.
No middle name.
so simple.
Troy and Star.
You want to pull out your passport for us, bud, or a
Yeah.
birth certificate? Anything you want to?
Yeah, after you make your choice, then I'll show you.
Okay, any final questions for Troy? Possibly no middle name. Stark?
I mean, there's lots of stuff to ask me questions about in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He will, by the way.
I feel like for the no middle name, there's nothing to be asked. So it's like, what's your middle name? You know.
Does anyone in your family have middle names? Like, is it a thing where no one in your family has middle names?
No, they all do.
They all do except for you?
What would you
That's neat.
have you thought about getting a middle name? Like, have you thought about if you had one, what you would like for a middle name?
No, I
I feel like Randall could be good for you. You know,
Yeah.
I would like to call you Randy. I think that would be
Troy Randall Stark.
Yeah, I like that.
my middle name was Michael, but then when I changed my name when I was 20 years old, I had my middle name removed.
Oh, I see. So you were like talking about not having a middle name as like an acquired situation. Like I just thought you hadn't been given.
Well, I mean, that's all the info you had at that point. But yeah, no, so I changed my name. I removed my middle name, just to separate myself from. I was named after some guy I never met, you know.
Okay.
Okay.
Back to the tooth thing. Why was it just like so much pain? Is that why you had to figure it out, or were you like planning to go to the dentist to get it removed, but you just like on your own?
I was living in Toronto at the time and only had Quebec healthcare, and they didn't want to go to like a clinic or a thing. They're like, we'll only see you if it's like emergency surgery. And I was like, well, isn't it? And then like it went a couple days later and got like infected.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, these people are gonna see me now, or I'm gonna rip it out tonight. They were like they wouldn't see me with a Quebec.
When did it heal fine? Like it healed okay?
Yeah, there was like I got most of it out. There's like a little chunk in there, but it just healed over.
Okay. All right, everyone, make your guesses. Unless, John, did you have a final question?
No.
Okay. Abby, what is your guess?
My guess is it's the 9/11 one.
Okay. Inez?
I think it's the tooth one.
Okay. And John?
I agree that the lie is the tooth.
Tooth? Okay. Troy, what is the truth? Is it the tooth?
No.
Or what is the lie, I mean? Damn it.
Abby's right.
Yeah, I knew it, because you're not 33, are you? You're like,
Yeah, no, I am. I'm
you are? Okay.
I'm the right age for that to have happened.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
wasn't true.
You were laughing a lot as you said 9/11 was really hard for everyone. So
Yeah.
maybe that's
I
a
mean-
bit our hint. We were like,
Okay, so Abby gets a point, and Troy gets 2 points for fooling people. Okay, so next, John, could you tell us your 2 truths and 1 lie, please?
Yes. Here they are. Here are my 3 facts about me. The first one is that I went to university with a murderer in Winnipeg, University of Winnipeg, for 3 years. I attended with a murderer. The second truth is that I used to have 6 toes. And the third truth is that my first job was overseeing poker games and billiard. Poker and billiard was my first job.
Like a cash job.
Cash, yeah.
Yeah. So when did you get the 6th toe removed?
soon as I started grade 1, and we had gym and stuff like that in grade 1, and we'd have to change in from our street shoes into normal shoes, and people started seeing it.
Did you have 6 toes on both feet or just on one?
No,
On
just
one?
on my left foot, on my
On
baby toe, a little extra toe on my baby toe.
Did it have like a nail? Like was it a full toe or like a nubbin?
It was like a nub, but it had a partial nail.
Okay.
Why did you get it removed? Oh, I guess
I
we
don't-
gotta cover that.
And they just removed it. They cut it off, and there was a scar, and it was swollen and bled, and it was stitched up and gone.
And what was your first thing?
I went to school with university with a murderer.
But in Winnipeg, so we wouldn't know.
Yeah,
would we
which
know who
murder?
the
Tell us
murderer
the
was?
story of his murders.
Yeah.
Or her murders, you know. Yeah.
It was probably a him.
Write the story for him.
He was found not guilty by reason of insanity, and was freed after, I think, 2 or 3 years in a mental institution. And I ran into him one day in the cafeteria of the university, and strange conversation, and he became a student and remained a student at my.
So you knew that he had like done all that stuff like when you were in school with him.
I
Like,
knew.
like, something that he had like beat kind of.
Yeah, I knew it was from a small town, so we all knew about it. It was very public, except I didn't know that he'd been freed from the mental institution.
How old was this person when they committed crimes?
Question.
Probably late 20s.
Okay.
I was like early mid 20s, and he was a few years older than me, 26, 27, 28.
Okay.
Okay.
See, I believe that because I'm in Charlottetown. Like, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
When something like that happens, like you just know the people that are like affected by it and everything like that. You know what I mean? My babysitter was one of the only people ever murdered in PEI.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it was years after like she had stopped babysitting me and stuff, but the chick that was my babysitter growing up was like still is one of the only people ever murdered in that place, you know, like.
Jeez.
Well, good for PEI. I guess.
Yeah, good job,
that's-
PEI.
Yeah, really rocking good stats.
I know I've
mean, yeah,
murdered
like-
some lobster there.
But what I'm saying is when you're from a small town like that, like when some shit like that happens, you're connected to it in some way, whether you
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Very few
the
degrees
baby
of
and then what's the third one? Your
Yeah.
first job was running a poker table.
Yeah, what does
Yeah.
that entail? What
Yeah,
is it, I
expand
guess?
on that.
There was 4 card tables and 4 pool tables, and I just sat at a cash register that didn't work. I just press on it and go ka-ching, and it would open up, but nothing would be recorded, and I'd have to write it down on a little piece of paper. I'd collect 50 cents, I think, for every card game,
Mhm.
and
Like you'd take a rake.
it went by time for the billiard tables.
Mhm.
So it was just for people to like rent out the use of the, like, it was like, oh, we're gonna play now. Here's like some.
Yeah, it was in the
Yeah.
basement of Friedman's confectionery. It was a confectionery first floor, and then you go down into the Friedman's pool hall, and it was teenagers and sometimes old men would play cards.
How
Mostly-
long were you there?
Yeah.
Like how long did you work there?
Oh, I don't know, maybe a year or 2.
How old were you when you worked there?
16, 17.
So are we ready to guess?
Yes. Yes. Are there any further questions?
No.
Okay, Abby. Since you just raised a drink to your mouth, you guess. I'm such
I
a.
forgot that I was
You
first.
should be a waitress. Yeah.
I'm gonna say the lie is the toe thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Inez.
I think I'm also gonna vote toe.
Okay.
Nubbin. Nubbin-ish toe.
And Troy?
That's the one that I think that I would have heard him tell jokes on stage about if it was true. Yet, I'm gonna vote for the poker table thing just to mix up the.
I don't have a vote, but that's what I think as well. Just throwing that in.
Just because I
Alright.
don't want, if we all get or don't get 1 point, then nothing changes. So
Yeah.
let's see what happens here.
Okay, John?
Oh, I'm lying about the toe.
Ah, all right. So John gets
Screwed myself.
1 point, and Abby and Inez each get a point. All right. Inez, it is your turn.
Okay. So I have them on a note. Okay, so I was named after a nun. I am a spring baby. That's second comma. I'm a spring, or whatever. Punctuation's weird. I'm a spring baby. And lastly, in my 25 years of life, I've lived in 11 abodes, residences. I've had 11 residences.
Mm.
And that's supposed to be a lot of places.
No, just a specific.
Like
That's
this
the number.
year, or yeah.
Yours?
Yes, it's technically a lot, Troy.
You're lying.
Yeah, I know, Troy. You've also been like nomadic, but
No,
believe
but, like,
me,
not-
most people have lived in like 3 by
Yeah,
that
that's fair.
age,
Okay, fair.
max. Yeah.
I'm just
How many
And-
different in the same city?
How many different cities? 4 different cities.
4 cities, 11.
5 cities, actually. Yeah, 5. Sorry.
which city?
The course of your
Which
life.
cities? Okay, so La Paz, where I was born, and then Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, and then Curitiba, further in the south in Brazil, Toronto, and Montreal.
Nice.
Okay.
And like a couple places in each one of those. That's reasonable. Although I think that honestly, it's not enough. Not that like that's not enough places
must
to have
be
lived,
wise
but I
for
think
life.
that if you've lived in, I guess only 2 countries, is La Paz in Brazil still?
No, Bolivia. So
Bolivia.
3
So you've
countries. Yeah.
lived in 3 countries, like maybe you're at 15 houses that you've like called your own after you moved out of your own, like of your mom's place, all this other stuff. This isn't your first apartment.
I am in my mother's place right now. If that's any helpful background info.
What was the shortest
is
amount
it.
of time you lived in a abode?
I think that would be when we first moved to Curitiba, and we lived in a hotel for like the first few months because we were having a hard time finding a place.
You're counting the hotel as one of those 11?
If it was for a couple of months, like
Yeah, like I was living, what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't a stay. Like I was going to school. Like every morning I would get up in a hotel and then go to school. Like it was
Yeah.
like, it was like
it
where
was
I
like
was
Schitt's
living.
Creek.
I've lived in parks longer than that, Inez.
Yeah, well, that was then one of your abodes or lack thereof. I would be like, if you like slept outside one night, I would be like, well, you weren't homeless. But if you spend a few months in the park,
There's
Yeah.
some
to
parks
claim
in
that.
Ottawa that I could make an argument for. This isn't about me. What's the other?
Yeah.
So you were named after a nun?
A nun, yeah,
Like a famous nun, or like one that was like connected to your family somehow?
a famous one, a very long dead nun. Yeah.
And like, what's her whole story? Like, not whole story, but
She was born on a worm. No, so she lived in Mexico in like the 17th century or so. It was during the Spanish colony, and she purportedly, this is of course nothing I can verify, became a nun because she did not want to get married and wanted to continue like being essentially an intellectual. And she became she was a writer, which I guess is kind of like her main claim to fame. But she also became very influential within the Catholic Church, which is weird because she was a woman and it was like the 17th century. And then also I found out recently, which is exciting, that a part of her not wanting to get married, obviously to a dude, is that she was probably gay. So that I like having been named after a gay man. I'm into it.
So she's probably gay. She's a writer, and from the 7th century.
17th, yeah, Spanish colony.
Or none of the above.
Sorry, what was I feel like you cut out. What was the last question?
Nothing. It was just an observation. I just it was 19th century. Okay, and you were born in what month?
I was born in May.
Right, but you said you were a spring baby.
Mm-hmm.
I did say I was a spring. That was my fact, yeah.
Yeah, but May isn't the spring though, is it?
May is the spring. May is very much the spring.
I'm 12. What day?
26.
26th.
Yeah.
I'm May 9th. Yay, May.
You consider May the spring?
May is very much, summer doesn't start until like June 21st.
Like by calendar, not like by weather. I'm saying.
And
like
also by
officially,
weather, May
like,
is the spring.
Yeah, like.
Fine.
Yeah,
That's
but also,
stressing me
yeah,
out.
weather-wise, May is spring. In Montreal, weather-wise, June is spring. Like, come on.
I mean, if that's the lie, you set that up at the beginning of this game. Like,
Yes, we were talking about birthdays before we were recording.
So if that is the lie, good.
Yeah,
good
she
with
did
that.
plant seeds.
I don't know why. I think that the thing about the nun, it's impossible to know except for like, it's plausible that's the story of the person you're named after. It's impossible to know if that chick is actually a nun or not. Like, could have been all true except she's not a nun. You know what I mean?
Abby, do you have any questions?
I think I'm good.
Okay. All right, everyone, let's guess. Troy, you're getting rowdy. I want you to guess first.
So
It's not
Get
those
it out
two.
of your system, Troy.
What's the third one? What was the third one again?
The 11.
So may I part like my
Yeah.
number of residences?
Yeah, that's not enough places.
Okay, so you're saying apartments or
You've lived in 3
abodes?
countries. You've had more than 11 addresses.
I'm gonna say the lie is. I'm gonna go with the named after a nun thing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And John, what is your guess?
I was going to go with the spring baby, and just the fact that you said you were talking about birthdays before, and I don't know. I'm going to go with the nun because I think she was also gay in there. I think she was kind of grasping for straws.
I was laying it on a little too thick for you, John. Okay.
Well, it wasn't that. Troy
No.
just attention to the details, and I don't think that you would mess with the number of places that you lived as a lie and say no, it wasn't 11, it was 10.
Yeah, that would be
Okay.
a bit of a thick move, but yeah.
going
Do I reveal or also
Yes,
so
please.
you wanna?
No, reveal.
So I was born on May 26th, but I was born on the southern hemisphere, which we also covered. So it was the autumn, not the spring. Oh! And yeah, I was named after a nun who was indeed a famous writer and
Troy is so
gay.
Troy is furious right now.
And I gave you all the information you needed to put
You
that
did.
together.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
very
No,
clever.
And John was sitting over there saying like she wouldn't do something like just like change a little number in the thing or whatever. It's exactly what she did.
No, because this is like it's information you could have figured out rather than me inventing a different, you didn't have like the evidence to.
I knew it
figure out.
Chef's kiss to that. That was gorgeous. That was so good. Because you told us what the truth was. That was very clever.
did,
Very
yeah.
clever. Hall of Fame
Did you
moment.
figure it out at home?
Yeah. How about you guys? Comment
Yeah.
below.
Yeah.
Okay. Our last 2 truths and 1 lie. Miss Abby Stonehouse.
First one, my dad eats raw potatoes like apples. I have documented proof, a picture, that my first kiss was my cousin.
Oh no.
And who was?
My first kiss was my cousin.
Oh, okay.
Okay. My mother was a goat farmer for 16 years.
See, those 3 pieces of information go together so beautifully. That I don't want any of them to be untrue.
I
like,
know.
they're just like all.
The stories I've
go
heard about
hand in
Abby's
hand,
family.
you know?
Oh, I want to meet Abby's family so bad. Like, it's on my like life goals list.
Where does
It's not weird.
The fucked up thing is like
We met the same one.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I did meet some of your family. They were lovely.
I've done the first two of those things.
Kissed
So
her cousin and eaten a
My
raw
my
potato?
question to Troy now is the first thing, i.e. the potato eating as an apple. Do you do it regularly as Abby suggests, or was it on a dare, like one bite and you're like, this is gross and I'm never gonna do it again? Because that
like
sounds.
if I'm cutting up potatoes, whatever, I'll cut like a little thin slice and like eat.
I
Like,
used to do that when
won't
I was
eat,
a
like,
kid.
whole potato raw, but like I will like eat like a little bit of raw potato when I'm
Yeah.
preparing it, because like it's, you know, more than like a bite is like way too much, but I don't hate
So,
it. I don't hate the
which-
little starchy.
No, when
Well,
I
I've
was
done that, and I found out unluckily that the girl I was dating was my cousin through.
eating. Okay, this isn't about you, but we're gonna go back to that.
But I'm saying I believe it's in my life it's
Oh,
possible
you
to make.
down.
So I think it's a credible story.
Yeah, you are from PEI, so I get it.
Especially if there's a photo, I'm like imagining you were
Yeah,
like very little, and it was like, you
Yeah.
know, like it was like by the poolside, everyone's
Like-
taking 100 photos. Or like,
I'm
Abby,
sure-
you didn't know?
I did know. It
You
was
did.
like Annette says, it was my cousin. I was little. And
Yeah.
we were both the same age, and we
How little? Like 21 or?
would hold hands a lot. We would play together, and my mom has a documented photo of us kissing, but it looks like we're macking. Like we're just like
Yeah, but how old?
I was 5.5, I would guess. Like,
Oh, that doesn't count.
Yeah.
So were you ever there, or was she done by the time you were around? Like, were you raised on a goat farm?
Yeah.
so
How many goats?
we moved to a farm when I was about 11, and my mother got a couple goats just for fun, and then decided to like actually have an entire herd of goats. And so she had them until like a few years ago. She decided to retire. She sold her herd. So they're actually meat goats. So there's like a market for meat goats, apparently, in
yeah, it's
the
delicious.
community. There's like
That's
a
true,
lot
yeah.
of Greek people eat goat, a lot of Italian people eat goat.
So which one's the lie? Because I believe the cousin thing, but it's so young.
Yeah. Tell us more about the potato eating.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no one asked about that. So are we talking like Troy, like a few bites as he chops them, or
Or
is
would
he
you
like
just, like, sit
munching on
there?
the whole thing?
My father just likes eating raw potato. Whenever he'll take a raw potato out of like the drawer, and he'll eat it.
The drawer, lie. Who keeps their potatoes in a drawer? I'm calling it now.
The potato.
drawer.
What
It's like
type
the
of
size
potato?
Kit
Like
Kats and,
a big potato or like a little like
a
red
russet? Does he shake
Yeah.
the dirt off of it first? Or?
Yeah.
He
this is
usually
important.
goes for like a medium-sized one, and he eats the entire thing.
But like, does he do this every day?
He'll probably do it like once a week, I think. I don't know.
Potato
the
day.
whole potato.
Yeah, I don't know if he's done it recently, but like when I was living with him, it was like a once a week event. He's like, I'm gonna grab a potato before leaving.
And
for snack."
before leaving somewhere, he would eat a potato.
Really playing games,
Oh,
right?
like as a snack for later. Like,
And then like go see people with it on his breath.
yeah, people eat it.
You've got potato on your breath again. I knew I
I
couldn't
believed
trust
this
you.
at the start, but now it's not credible.
All right, let's make our guesses.
That's the
Okay.
lie.
Yeah, I guess potato also.
Okay.
Potato. Definitely potato.
Okay, Abby, what is the truth?
The,
Or what is the lie? Sorry.
the lie is that the first kiss one, I didn't kiss my cousin.
I knew the potato was true.
You didn't kiss.
Admitted to kissing my cousin for that.
Ah!
Very well done, Abby. Well done.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Or
totally
good job, Abby's dad, for being so unbelievable in his habits, I guess.
You know,
the most
I've been told, like, anytime anyone has ever seen me do that, they tell me, like, you're going to get sick. So I'm
Yeah.
sure he has been told the same thing.
Yeah, that's why I asked you, because you were like, oh, I've done those things before. And I was like, was it as a dare? Because I remember when I was a kid in school, and it was, in fact, a dare to take like a whole bite out of a potato because it would supposedly make you throw up. It was like a
Yeah.
whole. It was one of those things kids would do to like torture each other. I thought so.
It's very
No.
starchy, obviously.
Yeah.
but
It's
or-
kind of good. When I was a kid, whenever my mom would be cutting up potatoes, she'd throw a piece to the kids. Okay, so we're going to move on to our next round. It is our penultimate round. Okay, so this round is called How Much? And in this round, I will show you weird things I found on the internet. I will read the description and tell you where it's from. And you will tell me how much it costs. And just in case anyone, lawyery is watching, this is not an advertisement. So please don't sue me. First up, we have this delightful little toy. I found it on Wish. It is called the Pop It, Squeeze It Acne Toy. Oh, sorry, Pop It Pal. Pop It Pal Squeezing Acne Toy. So you see there, you have some pimple pus. You have little friend there. So you cool or boil the pimple pus. You inject it, and then you pop the pimples. It is made of silicone, beeswax, and olive oil for anyone who wants to make it at home. So who would like to guess how much is it?
I am horrified. I will guess.
But are you horrified but also kind of want it? Because that's how I
was gonna
feel.
say this is clearly priceless because it's
Yeah, I'm
clearly
horrified
super
but
valuable.
also like, ooh, I want.
If you pay more than $8 for this, go fuck yourself. That's what I think.
Okay, so Troy says $8.
There was also, can we not have the same guess? I'm guessing no, because
yeah, don't guess the
because
same
I was
thing.
also gonna guess 8, but all
Okay.
right, $6.50.
$6.50.
I think if it's with the pimple pus.
I mean, it's a deal.
Pimple pus, it's $12.99.
$12.99. All
Yeah, to be
right.
fair, that pimple buzz is basically like an organic homemade lotion. Was it like
It's true.
beeswax and olive oil? Come on, that's like luxury right
The
there.
pimple pus is from Goop, actually.
I was gonna ask, does it market itself as like an esthetician training tool or something like that? Or is it
no,
this
it's
creepy thing you probably
it's a
wanna-
toy. It's a toy. Like it was marketed on Wish as a like a gag gift. But like everyone, like it had like 5-star reviews. Like it was all 5 stars. So everyone's like,
People
I
on the
love
internet
this.
are obsessed with pimples. you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, they
it's-
love it.
John, do you have a guess for the Pop It Pal Squeezing Acne toy?
$14.99.
$14.99. Okay, John is the closest, actually. So John gets 1 point for that. It was actually $18.
Oh my god.
18 buckaroos.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it's not.
When I can just do my own acne, come on.
That's right.
Yeah.
I got one of those for free right here, baby.
Okay, our next one is, it's spooky.
Oh my
So this one
God.
has a bit of a long description.
The hell is with the
I love this.
are those suspended?
I know. I
Sorry,
would pay
John?
large amounts of money for this.
Okay, so there's a whole story. The whole story was like 6 paragraphs long, so I cut it down a bit. Vintage haunted doll, ghost spirit from Vermont Insane Asylum. And I found this on eBay, so you know it's legit.
A
This
ghost doll from an insane asylum.
Yes. So here's the description, or part of it, because the description was actually very, very long. This doll is an artifact kept by a nurse who worked at an insane asylum. It's very old and not in good shape. The head even has a hole, as you can see. And the story is that the patient held this doll incessantly and had it pried out of her dead hands. The doll has been kept in a box in the attic for years. Since when her granddaughter, the nurse who kept it, saw it as a little girl, she began to experience nightmares. So,
Wow.
how much for that doll that is creepy and probably would just give a child nightmares anyway? But
$72.
$72, okay.
I'm gonna go with 53.
53. Okay.
I'll go with $129.
Okay. And Troy?
$249. If you're
Oh.
writing a description like that of the story and the asylum and everything, you're trying to make this like
Mm-hmm.
trying to make a sale, not just
That's
like
Yeah, and
It's a good
someone who's
guess.
willing to believe, and like people who want that are probably willing
Yeah.
to pay a lot. Like people who are after the super haunted.
a Chucky doll that isn't haunted is only worth like $40, but an actually haunted Chucky doll is worth like way
Yeah.
more to the right person.
That's true. So the actual answer is, John, you are very good at this round.
Oh,
The actual answer is $140.20.
Wow.
oh, that's what I would pay.
So 20 cents like for the stamp. Like how do
Yeah.
they arrive at that price? Like who
eBay
who's-
prices are always weird. It's always like, and 11 cents and a half penny. Like, just like eBay prices are always kind of messed up. Okay. We've got a couple more. So this one was found on Etsy, and my birthday is in May, so if anyone wants to get me this, I need it.
My God.
So this is a taxidermy chipmunk, and its description is just a little dapper chipmunk out for a ride on their T-Rex. Ships within Canada, local pickup. And
much?
he's beautiful and my best friend, and I need it. So how much for this truly priceless item? It is a real chipmunk.
Taxidermy, that should have been a character on Sesame Street.
Yes.
it's not too late, someone get in touch with
Oh, and it
the-
even has a little gun. I didn't notice its little gun before.
Oh my God.
I love it so
I'm gonna
much.
say 200
200? Okay.
because every the amount of detail and the
Mhm. And it
real live
was-
animal and
I think it was an ethically sourced chipmunk. So they like found it on the side of the road. And,
It had already been stuffed.
okay.
I love
Any other guesses?
So is it a plastic dinosaur?
49.
No, it's a real taxidermy dinosaur as well.
No, but
That
how big
changes
is it?
everything.
How big is
I'd
it?
say like $49. Like
Okay, $49. I don't have the measurements, John.
we all know how big a chipmunk is.
Yeah,
so-
it's that size in relation to a chipmunk.
I'm thrown off though. The chipmunk has a top coat and a top hat on, so I
Mm,
can't.
that
It does throw the dimensions off.
Yeah,
and there's
that
a
adds some
feather in
girth.
the cap also.
based on what I've seen in Jurassic Park, that chipmunk is about 26 feet tall.
Yes. It's
Yeah,
it's
standard
about
chipmunk
7
size.
football fields. Okay. So we have
$80.
$80 from John.
Okay, I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna lowball it at like 25.
25 from Abby. It's blatantly disrespectful. Okay.
This is Etsy, you guys. Have you
Yeah,
guys
it's
ever been
Etsy.
on Etsy? People charge for their labor, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
This
the
is like the 8th best thing in the shop. Like, just get rid of it already kind of stuff, like.
So the actual price of this beautiful, beautiful creature that I desperately need is $200.
Wow.
So Inez wins that one. Do-do-do-do.
I can
Well
find you a
done.
cheaper chipmunk.
You can find a cuter chipmunk.
Cheaper chipmunk.
Oh, cheaper chipmunk. Yeah.
It
I
needs
mean, it's. I mean,
it needs
as much as.
to be $200, but okay.
Yeah, I'd say
Okay.
it's like half the Etsy thing, but also they probably made like the reins and like the coat. Like all
Yeah.
of that looks handmade. You know what I
And
mean?
it's
Like,
beautiful.
I'm sure I'm
Are you ready for the lightning round?
ready.
Okay. Name the Roman god of love.
Yeah.
On a
Aries. Roman god of love?
Yeah, Roman god of love.
Eros.
Okay. Who sang Drop It Like It's Hot?
Usher.
Drop it like it's hot.
Yeah, Drop It Like It's Hot.
Snoop Dogg and Usher.
Oh, sorry, it's another question.
Okay, Troy got half. What's the largest ocean in the world?
Oh,
Pacific.
Atlantic.
Atlantic.
Okay, what's the largest land animal?
Dinosaur, Paul.
Elephant.
Buffalo.
What did you say, Troy?
Elephant.
What date is April Fool's Day?
Go
First.
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 I think that was John. Which country produces the most maple syrup?
Canada.
What bone are babies born without?
This one here at the top. There.
Good guess, but no. Kneecaps.
Oh.
What's the capital
my
of
God,
Ontario?
Of Ontario?
Yeah.
Ottawa.
Toronto.
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 Damn
Oh,
it.
and we're out of time.
I always forget how the lightning round is like not supposed to be hard. So I'm always like, it can't be all the obvious answer.
A very honorable mention at 7 points. We have Ms. Abby Stonehouse. With another very honorable mention with 7.5 points, we have Mr. Troy Stark.
Glad
And
that half point earlier.
in second place. Oh, no, wait. I can't read my own writing. The most honorable mention, meaning last place, goes to John with 6.5 points. It was so close. So John with 6.5, Abby with 7, Troy with 7.5, but in the lead, way out of reach from everyone else, we have Inez Anaya with
Thank you.
9.5 points. Chicken butt, your
Oh.
chicken name.
I'll take second place after how it started to look for me.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
Not bad, not bad. All right, thank you all so much for
Thanks,
joining in on the first
Thank you for having us.
social distancing Battle of Wits. I hope it worked out. And to anyone watching at home, like and subscribe and all that annoying stuff so that,
Take care. Good night.
You know,
yeah,
Yeah.
going up
Comments,
all that
tell
stuff.
your friends. Love you all.
See ya.
ya.
Take care, everybody.